Welcome to our channel. Imagine standing in ancient Rome, where Emperor Nero, one of history's most infamous rulers, commanded a city. He believed himself to be a god, demanded endless praise, and showed little regard for anyone but himself. But what led Nero, and many others throughout history, to develop such a personality? What makes someone narcissistic? In today's video, we're diving deep into the causes behind narcissism, uncovering how a mix of genetics, parenting, society, and even brain structure can create this complex personality trait. Stay with us as we unravel the mystery behind narcissism. Narcissism is a word we hear a lot these days, but understanding where it comes from is crucial. Whether you're trying to better understand someone in your life or you're just curious about how personality develops, this video is for you. Let's jump right into it. Did you know that your personality might be partly written in your DNA? Yep, genetics can influence whether someone develops traits that can lead to narcissism. Research shows that characteristics like extroversion, dominance, and low agreeableness can be inherited. Now, this doesn't mean that if your parents had these traits, you're destined to be narcissistic, but it does give you a higher chance, especially if combined with other factors. Let's talk about parenting. The way you're raised plays a huge role in shaping who you become. If a child grows up being told they're the best at everything, constantly praised, and never challenged, they might develop an inflated sense of self-worth. This overvaluation can lead to feelings of entitlement and grandiosity. On the flip side, a child who faces neglect or inconsistent love might develop narcissistic traits as a defense mechanism. They create a grandiose self-image to protect themselves from feelings of inadequacy. It's a way of saying, "I'm not worthless. I'm better than everyone else." Trauma during childhood can be a significant factor in developing narcissistic traits. For example, a child who experiences severe criticism or bullying might cope by constructing a powerful self-image. This is their armor, protecting them from the pain of feeling unworthy. Over time, this defense mechanism can become their entire personality, leading them to constantly seek validation and admiration to fill that void inside. Now, let's talk about society. In today's world, we're surrounded by messages that tell us to be the best, to stand out, to be admired. Social media, for instance, is a breeding ground for narcissistic behavior. When likes, followers, and shares become measures of self-worth, it's easy to see how someone might develop narcissistic traits, always striving for that next hit of validation. But it's not just social media. Our entire culture, especially in the West, often prioritizes individual success over communal well-being. This emphasis on personal achievement can push people to adopt narcissistic tendencies, especially if they feel that's the only way to succeed. Sometimes, narcissism develops as a way to protect oneself from deep-seated insecurities. Imagine feeling so vulnerable or unworthy that you create a larger-than-life persona to hide behind. This grandiose self-image isn't just for show, it's a shield, keeping the real, insecure self safe from judgment or rejection. Empathy is what allows us to connect with others, to understand and care about their feelings. But what happens if this empathy never fully develops? In some cases, a lack of nurturing or positive role models during childhood can lead to this very issue. Without empathy, relationships become transactional, and others are seen as tools rather than people. This missing piece is a key factor in the development of narcissistic traits. Did you know that some studies suggest that narcissists might have differences in their brain structure? Areas involved in emotional regulation, empathy, and self-awareness may function differently, making it harder for them to connect emotionally with others or regulate their behavior. This biological factor adds another layer to the complex puzzle of narcissism. Children learn by watching the adults around them. If a child grows up around narcissistic behavior, whether it's a parent, a teacher, or even a public figure, they might start to mimic it, especially if it seems to get results. Over time, these learned behaviors can become part of their personality. Adolescence is a time when we're all trying to figure out who we are. For some, this can be a difficult process, leading to the development of narcissistic traits. If a teen struggles with their identity, they might adopt a grandiose self-image to feel secure. They latch onto external validation to affirm who they are, and if this isn't resolved, these traits can persist into adulthood. Finally, let's talk about relationships. Narcissists often receive positive reinforcement for their behavior, whether it's admiration for their confidence or attention for their success. This reinforcement can encourage them to continue these behaviors, cementing narcissism as a core part of their identity. Without consequences or challenges to their behavior, they might never develop healthier ways of interacting with others. So, what makes someone narcissistic? As we've seen, it's not just one thing. It's a complex mix of genetics, upbringing, life experiences, societal influences, and even brain biology. Understanding these causes can help us better navigate our relationships and perhaps offer a little more empathy to those who struggle with these traits. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind.